સંધાન ઓલ ગુજરાત ઇન્ટિગ્રેટેડ ક્લાસરૂમ
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good afternoon, friends. Myself Kamlesh Trivedi from the MS University of Baroda. Today's discussion topic is matrices. So before we go ahead with our discussion, I will just try to discuss that you have already gone through the concepts of vector spaces. You know that R and C, that is the set of real numbers and the set of complex numbers, have some nice properties. That is, addition of two real number, the procedure is commutative. That is, if you add two real numbers A and B, then A plus B is same as B plus A. Same happens with multiplication. That is, if you multiply two real numbers A and B, then A into B is same as B into A. Taking help of the real numbers and complex numbers, you must have defined in previous lectures what is a vector space over R and what is a vector space over C. You must have also seen some examples of vector spaces over R and vector spaces over C. I am discussing about vector spaces now because you may feel that why are we going to define the objects that just now I will be giving the definitions, what is their significance. So first to tell you that whatever we are going to do now actually at the last will give us at least one example of a complex vector space if you feel you can have a real vector space. So now we start with the first definition, and that is what is a matrix. So technically a matrix is a rectangular array of numbers. We are talking about matrices over the field of complex numbers. So the numbers are the entries. So let us look into the definition of a m by n matrix. It is read m by n. So a m by n matrix over the set of complex numbers is a rectangular array of complex numbers. Mind you, it is arranged into m rows and n columns. So the first row over here is A1, it should be A11, A12, A1n. Second row is A21, A22, A2n, up to so on. The last row is AM1, AM2 up to AMn. We adopt the tradition that we will denote matrices by capital letters. So the matrix that we just now had seen in the earlier slide, it is written like this in notation. A is written like this, Aij. In the bracket we write down m cross n. Here m cross n, that is which is read as m by n, is actually the order of the matrix, and we sometimes also call it as the size of the matrix. So if you are given such a rectangular array, we will say that it is an m by n matrix of complex numbers, and moreover Aij that we have written there is called the ij entry of the matrix A. So just let us start by some other notation also which will be helpful in future, and that is the following, that we will also denote the ijth entry like this, that is in the square bracket capital A, that denotes the ijth entry of the matrix A, and which is nothing but small aij for all ij. Here we should remember that i's range from 1 से लेकर n and i's range from 1 से लेकर m and j range from 1 से लेकर n. Okay, so let us start to give some example of matrices. this is a very simple examples. I will avoid giving more complicated examples. We will rather stick to matrices of order which are smaller. So, to start with, I have just given a very simple matrix, that is matrix A is written like this. It is a 2 by 3 matrix. Let us again give one more definition. We say that a matrix which is a rectangular array of elements of C is a square matrix if the number of rows and the number of columns are same. So, such a matrix we will call, instead of calling it a matrix of n cross n order, that is n by n order, we will say that it is a matrix which is square and it is of order n. So, let us look at a very simple example. The matrix that is given over here is a 2 cross 2 matrix. In short, we can say that it is a square matrix of order 2. Okay, so now we have defined new objects called matrices. The moment we have defined new objects, we should say when are these objects equal. For example, in discussion of vector spaces, you must have defined when do you say that two elements of R2 are equal. Similarly, we will have to say when two matrices are equal. So, first and foremost, they should be in a situation to be compared. So, we have written that two matrices are equal, name them A and B, if first of all their orders must be same. So, if A is a matrix of order m cross n, then you should compare A with another matrix B which should be also of order m cross n, that is m by n, and moreover the following should also hold, that is each element of A should be equal to the corresponding element of B. Now, what do I mean when I say corresponding element of B? So, here it is. So, first of all we have taken two matrices, A is an m cross n matrix and B is a m by n matrix. Now, let us see when are they equal. So, both of them are m by n matrices. So, their sizes ya to their orders are same, and corresponding entries, that means ij entry of the matrix A, that is small aij, is equal to the ij entry of matrix B, which is nothing but bij. So, this is happening for all I, as I am keeping on repeating that these values of I range from 1 selector m and values of j range from 1 selector n. So, now we know how to compare two matrices. Now, let us try to define, when we have identified how to say two objects are equal, we now want to define how to add these matrices. The reason is the following, that we want to reach to a level of vector space. So, let us take two matrices A and B, both of them should be of the same size. You can take any two matrices of any sizes, but their size should be same. So, I have taken A and B. I have defined A plus B as follows. It is defined like this, that ijth entry of the addition is equal to addition of the corresponding ijth entries of the matrix A and matrix B. More precisely, ijth entry of A plus B is equal to Aij plus Bij for all I and j, and this gives us a definition of addition. Just for a sake of simple example, I have taken two matrices. I have not given them any name, but look at the first matrix that is given over here. It is a 2 by 3 matrix. Since I want to add this matrix with another one, I have again taken a matrix which is 2 by 3 matrix. Now, I have just taken the additive inverse of elements of the first matrix and I have manufactured the new one. You see over here that the first element of this first row is 2. So, I have taken the first element of the first row to be equal to minus 2, and similarly it is true for other elements. Now, according to the definition, when I have to perform the addition of matrices, I have to add the corresponding entries, but addition of corresponding entries is going to give me 0 at each place. So, this is a new matrix which is the result of addition of these two matrices, and it is having 0 at each place. See, this example motivates us that if I am given some matrix, I can manufacture another matrix such that addition of these two matrices will give me 0 in each entry. Such a matrix we are tempted to call it a 0 matrix, है ना. So, let us try to see. We define a matrix which is called the 0 matrix, या तो it is called the null matrix. It is defined like this. Now, in this example I have taken a 2 by 3 matrix. There is nothing beautiful about 2 by 3 matrix. You can take any m by n matrix and put all the values 0. It will give you what is called a 0 matrix. At times we will be interested in discussion of the size, या the order of the matrix. So, we will sometimes write 0 matrix of order m by n, meaning that there is m and n matrix, m by n matrix whose all entries are 0. Okay, so now so much so for the 0 matrix. Now, let us define some special kind of matrices. So, I am taking a square matrix of order n. So, it should be A is the matrix Aij, it is an n cross n matrix. We will say that A is a diagonal matrix if all the entries except that of the diagonal are 0. Now, if you look into the first example notation of the matrix that we had seen over here, you see what are the elements of the diagonal. The diagonal elements are respectively A11, A22, A23 up to so on, but I have taken here the special case of m is equal to n. Because of that, I have that if my all diagonal entries are non-zero and rest of the entries are 0, such a matrix we will call a diagonal matrix. So, I have given a very simple example of the diagonal matrix which is over here. I have taken other entries to be equal to 0. So, A11 for this matrix is 9, A22 for this matrix is equal to 2 and A33 is minus 8.2. Rest of the entries are 0. So, such a matrix we will call diagonal matrix. Now, we also define what are upper triangular matrices. So, these are also matrices which are square matrices. So, I have m is equal to n. So, it is an n by n matrix or it is a square matrix of order n. We say that A is upper triangular if the following happens, that is Aij is 0 for I greater than j. It means that, let us look at this example. See, I greater than j implies, so what are the elements which come into that category? So, one is A21 because 2 is greater than 1, other is A32 because 3 is greater than 2, and the last one is A31. A31, 3 is greater than 1. Rest of the elements don't fall into this category, that Ai j is such that I is greater than j. Because of that, this matrix can be called and is called a upper triangular matrix. You can see that name comes from the fact that the elements above the diagonal are non-zero and the elements below the diagonal are all 0. So, only elements in the upper triangular portion exist, rest of them are 0. Now, we move further and we are moving towards the direction of forming a vector space first of all. So, let us take one diagonal matrix. Now, I am not specifying the order of the diagonal matrix, you can take any diagonal matrix of any order. Now, we say that such a matrix is a scalar matrix if all the entries of the main diagonal are equal. That means, so here is a actually diagonal matrix because all the elements other than lying on the diagonal are 0. It is actually a square matrix of order 3. Now, apart from being the fact that this is a diagonal matrix, all the elements of the diagonal are equal. So, it falls into the category of what we have just now defined as scalar matrix. So, what is so good about this scalar matrix? We will just see in a moment. Let us now define what is scalar multiplication. We have already defined how to add two matrices. So, now we are going to define how to perform scalar multiplication. That is, if you are given a matrix A and a scalar which I have given the name K, then how to perform the scalar multiplication, that is to define matrix K times A. So, the matrix K times A is defined like this. You just blindly multiply all the entries of the original matrix by the scalar K. Now, scalar is in the sense of vector space, that we are taking K either a complex number or K to be a real number. So, with this notation I also define simultaneously what is the negative of a matrix. Now, negative of a matrix, why do we call it a negative? We just see in a moment. See, if I am given M by N matrix, that is Aij, then I will multiply